Congratulations on the win. How does it feel to get back in the win column with such a great finish?
Thank you. It feels great. I'm a true believer in you're only as good as your last fight, and I'm very pleased with my performance to have that as my last performance. To also make a statement, I'd like to have the opportunity to get another crack at top 10 level fighters. So I hope with that performance I'm able to prove that I belong in the top 10 eventually.
And Chance, he took a lot of punishment from you, especially in the first round, and kind of going into the third. Did you feel him deteriorating during the rounds?
I did. I don't know about deteriorating, but what I was feeling was more of just my range, my ability to use my speed and just popping a lot of the jabs. And I think once I found my range, it was only a matter of time where he was just gonna, eventually succumb to my power. I felt my punches landing more flush, more clean, and I felt him slowing down a little bit. But hats off to him, man. He's a very tough opponent. He took a lot of punches, and I try to not put so much weight on the finish. If the finish happens, then great. But I was just ready to just continue to throw, as much brutality and power and punishment into each punch as I could until it did the job.
How's about the foot first set? We see it's wrapped up right now. How much of a factor was it through the fight for you?
We train for this, man. In my camp and with my team, we understand that in martial arts you have 4 limbs for a reason. So I felt it after the first round. I threw a kick and felt it almost right away, but it didn't really slow me down. I figured just throw more hands. I also didn't want to show any weakness. I don't want to give that away to him to try to hop on it. So a lot of it is just your best poker face out there.
Aside from getting the win at Madison Square Garden, is this win more satisfying knowing that you're the first fighter to finish Chance, even dating back to his amateur career?
Yeah, absolutely. You always want to, I think it's about statements. And, if the best statement you can make is to be able to be the first to do something to someone that's not been done before.
And obviously big win here, finishing Chance. Do you feel like that puts you right back in the mix? Because the last guy you lost to just got a big win last weekend against Ben Askren.
Yeah, I believe it does, but at the end of the day, I'm not the one to say. Yeah. It's all, Dana White's call. It's all, it's their call. I keep my head down, keep my blinders on, and I just keep doing my job and try to do the best that I can, show great performance like that, try to finish every opponent until I'm given a good opportunity. I'm hoping one day, eventually, I do get a crack at the top 10 again.
And how did it feel getting to have this fight week with your teammates Shane and Julio as well? Like, it must have added a lot more to this week.
Oh, absolutely. It's such a statement personally for me, within my team, because it's freaking cool to have 2 of your brothers fight alongside with you. Not just that, but at UFC, at MSG, at the just how intense it is tonight with the people that we have present in the audience today. It's always a lot of it is just energy. There's a lot of energy, a lot of intensity, to the room when the 3 of us are out there together.
Julio had a close fight. Did you get a chance to watch that at all, or did you try to stay out of that so you focus on yourself?
I was warming up, and one eye warming up, the other eye trying to keep an eye on him. It's tough, man, because you love your brothers, and my heart went out for him. But it's hard too because I was up next, so I was doing my best to just stay focused. I heard the outcome of the fight, so this is what we signed up for. And I always wish my brothers the best. But it was really hard to go out there. If anything, after his loss, it kind of motivated me. I was like, man, I got to get that win for him, man. So it could have motivated me one of 2 ways. Either he came back with the win and just felt that energy, or you feel bad for your brother. You want to go out there and avenge that win for him.
Because you're brothers, is Shane gonna watch your finish and try to outdo you and talk a little trash?
Of course, it gets
you
competitive that way. Yeah, I'd expect no less. But that's great, man. I want him to do his best. Shane's on the climb right now. Julio's on the climb. My whole team is. So we only want the best for each other. So I'm definitely rooting for him and hoping he puts out a performance of the night, which I think he will.
Lyman, you mentioned confidence after the fight. How'd you sense your confidence growing in this particular fight as you were landing shots?
I felt it even before the fight, to be honest. A lot of it is, I think one of the things I have a hard time with is just the right mindset going into fights. My tools, my skill set, my abilities are always there, but sometimes if I don't have my head right for that night, then it shows. I feel like I've lost in the past to people I should have beaten, but now it's a matter of just tightening that up and truly believing in yourself. I give a lot of credit to my coaches because they really root behind me and they push me to believe in myself, and there's nobody more dangerous than somebody who truly believes that they're unstoppable, and I think having a good headspace going into a fight and having a great deal of confidence going into a fight is your best asset, as good as your hands going into a fight.
What were some of the losses you think you should have won?
I don't want to name names, you know. I just know in my heart, you know. I know, like, you know, people said, "Oh, there was a close fight, you should have won." You know, I don't believe that. I think, you know, if they won, they won. But I felt like, you know, there were fights that I could have either finished or I should have won. You know, not based on the judges. I mean, fights that I should have won myself. You know, but now, you know, that's behind me. That's part of my journey, my process to now build that level of confidence to go out there and just be the best version of myself.
What about that rematch against Ben Askren? That was a close fight in Bellator back in the day.
There you go. That's one of the fights we're talking about. You know, but whatever path Dana White sets me on, that's the path I go in, and I'm just gonna, you know, focus on one opponent at a time, and you know, basically pound my way up to the top 10 eventually. You know, I'm here to show that as long as I've been fighting, I still have the ability to make it to the top level. You know, and I belong up there, you know, amongst the top 10.
What's ahead for you?
Sorry?
What's ahead for you? Now that the fight's over, you get some time now. What are we doing? Just recouping and waiting for the next fight?
Recovering, and then, yeah, going to the next fight. But before that, it's just going back to the, you know, back to camp. Because really, now that we found a good recipe for a way to get me out there and just like shine with my hands and just be, you know, confident and strong. Now we got to go back and solidify that and just do it over and over and over. Right? You just got to, you know, just be training every single day, make it a thing that it's just part of my life. You know, it always is, but it's just, you know, now that I feel great about how I won. Now it's a matter of going back and just, you know, back to the drawing board.
Any idea what the injury on the foot is? Have you guys sort of had a bit of a look at it in the back, sort of thrown around some ideas?
It's just a scratch. I don't know. It's got swollen. I don't know. I don't think it's broken. I know I've broken enough bones in my lifetime to know the difference, but it'll be fine. You know, I'll heal up from it, put some ice on it, and then back to training.
When do you think you'd like to get back in there again?
As soon as I'm able to start kicking again. You know, as long as I can put weight on it, which should be soon. I don't think it's a big injury, but as soon as early 2020. I'm looking for 2020 to be a very busy and very successful one for me.
Lyman, you said that you felt like you weren't in the right headspace previously. What was the difference for this fight? Was it maybe sports psychologist? Anything you did differently that you felt more in the headspace for this fight?
I did. You know, I want to keep that to myself, more private. But there were some things that I've done. But you know, half of it is that. Again, you know, credit really goes to my coaches because they've really just, you know, they've been very consistent, very persistent with me, you know, believe in my abilities, you know. And sometimes people, I'm a very stubborn person, it's a very stubborn nature, so it took a while, but he's just kept on, and my coaches just know how to talk to me, how to get in my head. And I feel like it's clicked, and like I said, you know, I got a good head now. I'm ready to go out there and dominate.
When I talked to him, he said, you know, like I told you, the media did that. He said he felt he could take you down whenever he wanted. When he tried those first few times and couldn't get it done, did you feel like an emotional, a physical break in him because he wasn't able to do what he thought he was going to do for the start of the fight?
I think a very strong suit of a fighter is their confidence, and when they can't do the one thing that they're trying to do in order to win the fight, it takes away from their confidence, you know. And once you're able to kind of put a blemish in that confidence, it's a matter of just, you know, you start overwhelming them. And I think when they know they can't do what their coaches are telling them to do, and that's it, you know, their confidence starts to diminish.
All right.
Thank you very much.